Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Gray Black North. I am your favorite author, Robert Mulolo.
And I am Devin M.D. Jones. Hey, guys. Today we have two amazing guests. We're doing a special podcast specifically for Insecure because we love it. It's amazing. It's fantastic. There's drinking games for it. Like, it's amazing. So our two guests that we have today is Arnold. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Arnold, and in the immortal words of Tyler the Creator, I'm awesome.
And our other guest, Toni. Introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, it's Toni. That's it.
Short and sweet, I like it. I hope your opinions are just as short and sweet. But sweet. All right, so like I said, today we are talking about Insecure. And we're going to go character by character.
That should be fun.
Okay, so as we go through characters, we're going to talk about love, work, friendships, and then finally, well, I think mixed in there will be the pros and cons. Cool?
Yeah.
Got it. Good. Great. So, let's work backwards. Like, least important to most important.
Lisa's brother? Lisa's brother?
Lisa's
I said Lisa, no. Lisa's
What's
brother.
his name?
That's why he's so not important, because nobody knows his name. You know what I mean?
He's just Lisa's brother.
He's Lisa's brother. That's who he
Like,
is.
You know what the funniest part about him that I want to know? What happened with him and Kelly?
That's what I need to know. I need to know the where the beef comes from, because I'm just saying, it's just, that's my life. I just love it. I love it. Their beef is just, right now, I can't even describe it. It's just that great.
Hilarious. Was he even in season one?
I don't
Barely.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember seeing him.
No, they went to go see his play.
Oh, that was his play?
Yeah,
no, that wasn't his
Yeah.
play because that was Kelly's friend.
Was he Kelly's friend? Or
Yeah.
oh, it was Kelly's friend. My bad.
He was Kelly's friend because she was the one like explaining it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my favorite episode where she was like, straight, gay.
Wow, that was a pretty good Kelly. That was impressive.
Me and Kelly, we share some similarities.
So we're not going to start talking about Tiffany and Derek's weed baby. We're not going to start with that. That was the story. When I heard it, I was like, what? I just cringed a bit when they said,
Wait,
that.
weed baby? What?
Yeah, because remember when they were on the beach, or was it on the beach, or when they were setting up the TV, Derek, Kelly's husband, said, yeah, we were smoking weed after the party, and then we had a baby, and then that's how the baby got there a month later. And then he said it's our little weed baby.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty funny.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that. But Tiffany. Okay, so let's just talk about Tiffany and Derek. We're going to lump them into one.
Okay.
Because that's how they kind of represent themselves. Toni, thoughts, feelings on Tiffany and Derek?
I think Tiffany and Derek are that typical couple that like to make it seem that everything is perfect and golden, and I don't know about y'all's problems, but we don't have those. But I think, and I'm sure that they'll explore it in maybe like the next season or something, I think that there's something super hidden in like behind closed doors with them that we'll probably find out about soon. So that's how they come across. Very like, we're educated, we're successful, we have money and all this kind of stuff. We don't have anything to worry about. Tiffany did let it slip a little bit in one of the episodes that like he had to sleep on the couch for whatever reason when they were like, what? She's like, oh no, don't worry about it, that sort of thing. So they let it slip a little bit. But
wait, didn't he live somewhere else for like a whole month?
really?
Yeah, like I think she said he lived in a hotel for a month.
Oh, wait, no, okay, yeah. Maybe I do remember. Yeah, so they're hinting at there's like definitely problems there, but they're not saying exactly what. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what their problems are.
And they have these problems, and then, there's a baby, so let's fix the marriage with the child. Maybe. Arnold, what you got to say?
Yeah, and I think the whole thing with Derek as it relates to, when they were all hanging out in Lawrence's crib, and he said, Tiffany had a work guy, but I quashed that, and it just ended like that. How is that possible? Like, it can't be that easy. So to Tony's point, I think something might surface, maybe something going on with the work
the work guy.
Yeah, the work husband. So
the work husband could be the work. It could be the baby daddy.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. He's like, hold on.
I'm just saying.
But it's interesting how that dynamic is being explored, because like Tiffany's like super, super, super extra, right?
Yeah.
And Derek is just kind of like
following along.
Type. Yeah. But you know that when Tiff gets out of control, Derek's like no. And she's like, okay. You know that. Everybody knows that. That's their relationship. Like he'll let her go. He'll let her do whatever, just go crazy, talk all your madness. But at the end of the day, Derek's like, no. She'll be like, okay, baby, whatever you want.
Okay, but I will say this though. I mean, with regards to these two, I mean, why in the hell would they invite all these people, Issa, Lawrence, and at that dinner? Like, I mean, why is all these people just like a recipe for like disaster altogether? I'm just saying.
Because it's about Kelly. It's always about Kelly. Even Derek's party was about
Kelly. Tiffany.
I mean Tiffany. Sorry. Even Derek's party was about Tiffany, right? So it's all about her.
Yeah, but at the same time, Derek and Lawrence are friends. I know a lot of people were saying that they're not that close of friends. I was like, he just helped him move. I was like, you're friends. Once you help somebody move, you're friends. You're tight.
I also do think that people were saying that they're Issa's friends, and Lawrence only knows them through Issa. So why are you there? Like, it should and I think that's why. But I think that's why Tiffany texted her and was like, hey, Lawrence is coming. Is that cool? Because it's almost like Issa does have precedence over Lawrence. Like, is that cool with you? Because they know, like, we're your friends. Like, if you say no, like, he ain't coming. So,
yeah. The people who are saying she's trash, they're trash. Because Tiffany did what she had to. She asked Issa.
Yeah.
And Issa decided that she didn't want to.
Yeah, 100%.
But whatever. That party, it was love. I love it. I loved every minute of it. And it's funny because people are like, why do these people on the show make such bad decisions? And Issa Rae, like as herself, not the character, was like, if they made good decisions, there would be no show.
Yeah.
I was like,
agreed. However, I will say this though. I mean, the one thing about that party that I love, and it was Kelly.
Oh, Kelly.
Okay, so let's just talk about Kelly.
Yes.
Okay, by a show of hands, is there anybody in here that does not like Kelly?
No, her lines are the best lines.
I'll wait.
She has the best lines. I mean, at the party when Arpna was coming in with Lawrence, and she said there must be a sale on denim. She was all denim out. I was like, oh my god! That was like the most tweeted reference of that whole episode, man.
I like how that reference also kind of just called them basic at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Or when she said, when she was racing, and she said, and I thought it was a perfect Game of Thrones tie-in, when she said, at the 9th mile, it was all red wedding. And I was like, wow.
Oh, he's the best.
But Kelly writes. It's her writing partner.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get her own.
Yeah, for sure.
That,
For sure.
yeah.
She has
Oh my
to.
gosh, she
Yeah.
needs
She
a
has to.
spinoff.
Yeah.
She has to.
My favorite Kelly moment. So like we all like Kelly. So favorite Kelly moments. Go.
Oh, God.
Besides the last episode when she went after Issa, talking about, because Issa was talking about she has to move and sell all her stuff and everything. So you should,
She's like, ow.
you ain't got shit. I think my favorite Kelly moment was definitely the whole thing about the gay part. You know what I mean? Like straight gay type of thing. Yeah.
Or when Tiffany was trying to say something nice about Issa, and she's like, "You said that the other day. Come on, girl, it's almost there. Bring it up." And it was like, it was by her saying it, it was like instigating it more and making it even worse.
There was one thing. My favorite Kelly moment was the diner and her getting fingered under the table.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
That's my favorite Kelly moment of all time.
I don't know.
Not only because she couldn't finish her sentence, but also because it also what it did for Issa and Daniel.
Sure. It took me the longest. Go ahead, Robert.
No. What it did for Issa and Daniel.
We'll come back to that because we gotta come back to Issa and Daniel.
Yeah, we have to, because I mean that's a little weird for me. But anyways,
what took you the longest, Arnold?
No, I was just saying it took me the longest to figure out what was going on at the table. I thought, did somebody pass gas? It was just uncomfortable and quiet, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And until Daniel texted, "Yo, your girl's getting," then I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my goodness.
You don't hang around with girls like Kelly.
Listen,
Tony, tell me you didn't know in the first 2 seconds.
I knew. It took me like 1 second, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, go Kelly. Like, yeah. No.
Maybe
We all
because I
hang
don't.
around like Kelly.
Yeah, maybe because I don't have a propensity to do that, so I don't know.
But like my thing was like in a diner, there's food. I'm eating. Come on. I'm eating.
Who's next?
No, it was just not. To me, it was just not. No, it was. You can't do that. If I'm sitting next to you, you cannot get pleasured. Not like that. I don't think so. No.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you know.
I do not.
It is 3 o'clock in the morning. Exactly.
Listen,
Good reason why she should.
I'm gonna out myself a little bit. Like, I drive Uber from time to time. I get these couples late at night. They're in the back seat. I make sure I didn't hook up with nobody in my car. Ain't nobody about to baptize my car in this manner.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's not happening. So no, I'm hating on everybody's love. That's what I'm saying.
So you give them 1 star for doing that, or 5 stars for effort? All right, we're digressing. Sorry.
You're hilarious. Okay.
Arnold's crazy, man.
Let's discuss Daniel.
No.
I heart Daniel. I love Daniel.
I wonder why.
I don't know if I'm trying to decide if I actually like Daniel, like the character, or is it just because I think the guy who plays him is sexy?
He's so good.
I'll go with the latter for you.
No. I think it's a little bit of both. Because I feel like as much as people hate on Daniel has been straight up from the beginning. Okay, when they started making out and whatever, that and she was like, "Oh, I'm not ready for a relationship." He's like, "I don't want a relationship." Right? So then, well, I was about to say something and then I realized I was going to contradict myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because he turned around And 2 days later, he's like, they slept together and now he wants a relationship. I was like,
exactly.
I was like, Issa, you sure stuff that good?
That's Robert. That sounded like some hateration in that dancery there with Devin and Daniel towards Issa. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
There is no hateration towards Issa. I see myself in all the female characters in some sort of way. I know, and they are the one thing I had to explain to my girlfriends who we talk about the show, who I talked about the show with, is they're like, well, why would they do this? And I was like, they're in their mid-20s. Don't you remember, like, I'm a little bit older than mid-20s, just a little bit. But I was like, don't you remember being in your mid-20s and not having everything figured out and not knowing what you want and not really understanding, like, this is going to go into the Issa part, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to digress.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I would say just on the Daniel part, I think Daniel is every guy, all of us, because it just seemed that he was always in the wrong place at the wrong time in terms of Issa's crossfire. And it just seemed that he could never say the right things and do the right thing. So, and I think he was trying.
Actually, Issa was the one that was in the wrong place at the wrong time in his crossfire. But
okay, go.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, Ro.
Wow, bro.
Your name's getting shorter and shorter as the show goes on. It's going to be R in a minute.
It's gonna be R.
Please don't call me R. There's another R over there. He's going through his own thing. Let him have that. I don't want to be associated with that. I'll take Ro. But with regards to Daniel, the thing is, yeah, like Arnold was saying, like he was the wrong place at the wrong time. He finds himself just infatuated with Issa. And she's still trying to figure out, like I'm talking about season 1. She's still trying to figure out things with
Wait.
Daniel.
Okay, but you remember that they've known each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that part?
Right.
And she was infatuated with him for years.
Right.
And he's
Facebook
the
stalking.
one he didn't really want to give her the time of day. They used to hook up, but he never wanted anything serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying. So that's why I say, I agree with you, Robert. And that Issa's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So, Devin, you're saying this is the full circle for Daniel in terms of what he did in high school and it coming back to him?
No, I'm not saying full circle. Because
Okay.
I don't think anybody deserves that whole thing. Everything in life is about timing.
Yeah, exactly. It's
right?
all about timing.
And those two have never been on the same page at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, okay. But then I'm going to go to the end of the episode. I don't want to go to the end of the season yet.
You don't want to go to the
I
end of
have
the
something to
episode
say
because
about
I was
that.
about to mention it.
I have something to say about that, but I'm going to leave that to Issa. And she's going to
Okay,
be last.
let's keep it to the end then.
Okay, so can we talk about Daniel in the context of the incident? Everybody knows the incident that I'm talking about.
Oh, hey, listen. As far as I'm concerned,
I
didn't blame Daniel until he actually ratted himself out. Like when he snitched on himself, I was like, all right, cool, that's your fault.
I don't think he meant it like now we're even. I think it just kind of came out like that, and then she went off on him again.
She was in a sensitive mood.
She was very sensitive.
But in terms of the incident, was it because of the incident or was it because of the build-up of where she? Oh, that's a wrong word. Sorry. But what? Hey, Devin, can you edit that?
No.
Was it because of the whole day of all of those things happening to her, and then that was the climax again of just what happened, and then her saying, "Okay, that's it," and then losing it, or was it the actual act where she freaked out on?
I think it's a part of like. Okay, did anybody else watch Being Mary Jane?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody watches Being Mary Jane. And you know how Mary Jane always talks about how she's always sabotaging relationships and sabotaging when things start getting really, really good?
That is true.
I feel like that's what Issa did. She was like, things with Daniel getting way too comfortable. everything's getting cool. I'm gonna mess this up.
That's a good point.
Issa was getting too comfortable with her rotation. That's what she was getting too comfortable with. She was getting too comfortable juggling dudes here and there.
She wasn't comfortable with it at all. She was trying too hard.
Yeah, I don't think she was comfortable at all. I think that she was trying to make everyone think that this is what she wanted to do and kind of forcing herself to do it. And then it's obviously not the case. And girls do that all the time. They think they're about that life and they're really not. And then they get hurt and they want to blame Tom, Dick, and Harry, but it ain't even their fault. It's your fault. It happens all the time.
I have a question for you then. So you're saying that women are meant to be in like
No.
I'm just asking. This is just me asking. I'm just wondering.
They just lie to themselves.
Yeah, I think there are women that are more than capable of doing that. It's the women who think that they're capable of doing that and not honest with themselves and being like, no, I'm a relationship kind of girl. I'm a one-man kind of girl. They try to act like, okay, I'm heartbroken. My man left me. Okay, I'm going to be out here. I'm going to go be a hoe. But that's not you, baby girl. So this is what happens every single time. It happens every single time.
That's true.
Well, she also did the rotation not to deal with her actual feelings.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, with regards to the incident, I was not blaming Daniel until he snitched on himself.
He didn't snitch on himself. Honestly, when that happened, I was like, what's wrong with Issa?
Exactly.
I said the same thing. I'm like, why are you going to get upset for it? I mean, like, what did you think was going to happen?
And it's not, like, it wasn't purposeful.
No.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was caught up in the moment type stuff.
You can get
I'd say she forced it.
Whatever. It didn't even get in her hair.
I said she forced it. She's doing it.
So I'm not going to be. I'm not going to spoil this with a technicality, but you go to a course once and then it's off the chains. That course needs to be worldwide. I mean, this is screw the grapefruit theory. Let's go with this course.
The grapefruit.
That is very true.
You did not say the grapefruit.
I did.
No. By the way, shout out to Girl Strip. Great movie. Shout out to the. I was seeing it 3 times. I'll see it a 4th time if anybody wants to. I don't have no problem.
Freaking funny.
Yes.
No. But how do I not get into this without getting into this?
Let's get into it.
But is it really that hard?
Oh boy. Deviation.
Is it really that hard?
Like,
please
you're
elaborate.
saying she went to one course. Like, if she wasn't about it and she wasn't doing it before.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Honestly, it's not that freaking hard.
Listen.
Most of the time, dudes are just freaking happy that you're doing it.
No.
I think most of his reaction was probably he never got that from Issa before.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, I see you. I'm sure it wasn't the most amazing head he's ever gotten in his life. It's just the fact that she's never done it before and he got all excited
and she didn't even like ask for anything else. She walked in and was like, I'm on my knees.
Yep.
Come on.
That is true. No, but then again, it's not about the technique. I do believe it's not about the technique. It's like Toni said, it's because wow, Issa's doing this now. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Done. Daniel, done. Team Daniel all day. Sexy. Love him. Moving on. Who's left? I'm leaving Issa and Molly are the last.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Lawrence.
No.
Because the debate last year was Team Lawrence versus Team Issa, so I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's not Lawrence and Issa.
Last year.
Huh? But this year also.
No.
Okay. All right.
It's like no.
No
it's about the women. This show is about Molly and Issa.
So
they are the stars of this show.
Are we gonna close off on what's the bank teller's name?
Oh, Tasha. Let's talk about Tasha.
Listen,
I know she got written off early, but
no, I will say this about Tasha.
What Tony? Hold on, sorry. Tony's face?
What?
Tony's face with Tasha.
Oh, I'm glad she's gone now. That was enough of her.
Wow.
First of all,
go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you finish because I got my own personal feelings about Tasha.
Oh no, I was so glad that she was done because it was like, girl, what did you expect? Like even when she read Lawrence for being like, oh yeah, like you ain't shit and but you try to be whatever. I'm like, yeah, girl, whatever. Like she literally put herself in that position. You ran after a man who was in a relationship. You waited with your little Duracell batteries looking ass. You waited until he was done out of his relationship. You hopped into a thing with him knowing he just got out of a relationship. And now you're expecting him to be what? Captain Save-A-Ho? This literally, again, ladies, it's not
Tony, tell us how you really feel.
Seriously.
What the heck?
And we're done with Tasha. So
No.
But you should know, Tony she dropped the mic. Like, what are you gonna say now?
Why you have to sheath at a girl like that? I mean,
But what are you gonna say now? She just told the truth.
Wow. I can't even defend her.
Yeah.
Like, I really, truly, oh my gosh.
Okay, moving on next.
Moving on.
I'm gonna let you guys talk. I'm gonna let you guys talk.
I feel so bad leading Tasha to the slaughter like that.
I need a minute.
But she summed it up. It was good.
She summed it.
Yeah.
That was like. That reminds me of the Cleveland bus driver. That's what Tony just did to Tasha. The uppercut. That's what it was.
Oh my god. Apparently Tasha did that to herself.
She did.
But
just like the girl on the bus.
As we go to Lawrence, let's segue to the Team Lawrence captain, Arnold.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
speak the things.
You know what I find interesting, and I don't know if they intentionally did it, but it's interesting that in the end, after all of this, as the episodes progressed and as the seasons progressed, Lawrence became more insecure. And you saw more insecure spots of him. So it was almost a full circle to where he was insecure in terms of where he was in his life, in terms of not having a job, not being physically fit. He got all of those things and he felt the confidence came back.
Well, sorry. When was Lawrence not physically fit?
He started working out. Sorry. He was wearing.
He'd been working out from day one.
Okay, Devin. I apologize for not on Lawrence.
Don't talk about his body.
That you were
don't talk about his body because I've been appreciating that since day
Robert,
one.
this is why you can't watch football with girls because.
It's true.
Because what? Because we gonna look at their ass. We gonna look at their ass.
We need to know who these person. Oh, who's that?
Exactly.
So you recognize them by ass cheeks.
Who's number 13 with the high booty?
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
I'll strike the fact that he wasn't physically fit. The way they made it seem was he was just a slacker. He was just doing this thing, not taking care of his body. Okay. But it was interesting how psychologically, then as soon as he kind of took care of that life and he thought he was taking care of, you saw the other things like the infamous 2-on-1. That was a situation where because he didn't make sure that he managed his time properly, everybody knows the 2-on-1 I'm talking about, right? Because he didn't manage his time properly. Pardon me? Well, clearly he didn't project plan it. He didn't project plan. I mean, he should have. And you know, so just speaking to that, I know I'm going to go on a tangent. I knew he was in trouble when he was talking to his buddy, and he says, one of these girls are into me. Not realizing the two of them wanted to be with him. So once he said one of these girls, he was then committed to first and goal, right? As opposed to realizing he didn't have a 2-minute clock in terms of proper time management. I'm using a sports reference there for football because we were talking about tight ends.
Exactly.
So I just, you know, and it's interesting because with Lawrence, I mean, I thought the scene was great in terms of the end, in terms of where he finally, you know, confessed his love. But I mean, can this show really go on if they don't get back together? I mean, they do have to get back together at some point, don't you guys think?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the show, we actually started talking about this, which is why we ended up having this show. So Arnold was like, did you scream when he got down on bended knee and all that stuff? And I was like, no, because I knew it wasn't real. Why? Because if he got down on bended knee and he proposed and they had a baby and all that stuff, there's no season 3. They already told me there's a season 3.
Okay. I get that.
It's just TV show logic.
Okay. I get that. I hear you. Now, with regards to my appreciation.
Are you Team Lawrence, Robert?
Yes, I am. But when he was hooking up with him with the two, when he had the 2-for-1, I was not feeling that. I was not feeling him that much. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? And that's.
But why? Because he did the 2-for-1, or he didn't do a good job.
My thing is this. I didn't like it only because of the way it ended about, oh, you're a black guy type of thing, and how he responded and everything. It's just, I don't know. I felt like Lawrence shouldn't have been treated like that way, or shouldn't have accepted that type of treatment. Basically, is what I'm saying. That's why I didn't like it.
Interesting.
But I think that was the whole momentum of him feeling his oats and that confidence to say, yeah, I'm like, you know, emitting all of this confidence. So obviously this is coming back to me, where these two women are feeling it, and then they leave him on the sidewalk like a piece of trash, and he's outside Issa's house.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
like, I mean,
exposed.
Them girls were not even like. I mean, you get 2 girls, okay looking chicks. And, you know, yeah, you get some from them. All right, cool. But then they going to treat you like you ain't Lawrence. You know what I mean? Like, come on. No, I'm sorry. I mean, you had Tasha before you downgraded to these 2 girls. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not.
I like the whole scenario. And I like the way that they did that. This show the writers are smart, right? Mm-hmm. And they're female writers, and they want to tell a certain story, right? So for me, what I got from this story is there's a lot of dudes who are saying that I want to do a threesome, right? Lawrence got the threesome that they all ever wanted. And all these guys are Team Lawrence. Team Lawrence who have never had a threesome in their life. So when Lawrence got this, every dude that is like Lawrence was sitting at home rooting for him.
So we were living vicariously through him.
Exactly.
I will say this.
And when stuff didn't happen the way that they thought it was going to happen, it was like, see?
No. Listen, I was cheering for Lawrence when he got with Tasha.
That fantasy for them.
When he got with Tasha, I was cheering for Lawrence. As far as I was concerned, like, I mean, Tasha was like, oh, yeah, all right, you got yourself a good one right there. Go ahead, do your thing, bro. But when he got with them girls from the parking lot where they were basically saying, oh, it's come over or something like that subtle invite that they were giving to him, I was like, come
You're like, run, Lawrence, run!
You know what I mean? Like, leave that alone. Go to the party.
Every dude's porno fantasy.
That was literally, a porno.
Yeah.
Porno right there. Yeah.
It was every dude's porno fantasy Like, Lawrence was about to live it, and then they showed that it wasn't as great as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. You
With
played
replacement.
Why? Because you're not as great as you thought you were.
So
Sorry,
question on that too.
I don't know who she talking to.
Lawrence. And Team Lawrence as a whole.
Team Lawrence tells you, yo, no.
Team Lawrence is every guy that sees himself as Lawrence, right? And the thing is, I'm going to tell you, don't freaking be Lawrence. Why? And I said this in a post recently, but Lawrence is the epitome of the Toronto guy.
Wow. Shots fired.
Wow.
The floor is yours.
I am
The
going to continue.
Okay.
Lawrence is the dude that has all these hopes and dreams, thinks he deserves something, and isn't willing to work for it. But sits at home waiting for this dream to happen that he's not working for.
So trifling?
But he also expects to have the hottest chick want to be following and running after him. Why? Because he does two ways every once in a while.
I don't know. Like, I agree with everything except for like that last part. He doesn't strike me as that type of person who like needs like or expects all these like good looking women to be after him.
No, that's not what I mean. Not all good looking women. He expects to have one woman like Issa.
Yeah.
That's just going to be down for him no matter what he does.
No, that's true. I think too with Lawrence, he strikes me as like a type of person who needs validation all the time.
Welcome to Toronto.
Yeah, like, you know, like he needs that all the time. Like every opinion he has, everything, he's just like, he's just like this, he's
insecure.
So much of a pushover. That's a pushover. When they're like, oh yeah, when the girl's like, yeah, woo is not that great or whatever the case is, and then he's just like, oh really, you think so? It's like, no, but this is a thing you've been working on for like ever. This is an app you've been working. This one girl you just met like 2 weeks ago tells you, yeah, no, it's not that great. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, well maybe you're right. Or when our partner, whatever her name, I don't know what her name is. The girl from his workplace that he was dating.
Denim girl, Arpner, I think. Arpner.
Apartna?
Okay, let's just call her Jasmine, please.
Hey, no, don't call her Jasmine. That's racist. That's some racist.
I was tying in the show.
We forgot about Chad.
Chad is so boss.
Yes.
Because he's the one who called her Jasmine.
Yes.
Chad is like Kelly's count. Like
yes.
He's the male Kelly.
Male version of Kelly. He's the best. He's the best.
And that's why he's getting married.
So he says, I don't know. I'm still waiting to see this girlfriend of his. Like, where is she?
He's just living vicariously through Lawrence.
That is true.
But Devin, you were talking about Every Man. I know you're talking about Lawrence and the Toronto Man. But one thing I could say about Every Man, when they were said, you didn't get a couch, but you got speakers and a TV. And he's like, how am I going to hear SportsCenter from the shower? That is every guy right there in terms of priorities. So I thought that it was interesting that he didn't have a couch in terms of priorities, but there was the couch, the infamous couch from Issa's house. And she said, come get your couch. So, you wonder if that is the whole kind of full circle to that.
That's the full circle.
Yeah.
So the whole first season was they were discussing getting a couch.
The couch.
Yeah.
And so.
That part is totally interesting. Okay. We're going to come back to Lawrence when we get to Issa. But, part of me wants to leave Molly to last because she's not associated with anybody and her bad decisions. Okay, let's talk about Issa. Let's do it. Let's talk about Issa.
No, you don't want to talk about Molly?
We are. We're just gonna come after.
Okay.
Okay. So, Robert, Issa. Love, relationships, friendships.
Okay, Issa's definitely a great friend. As far as I'm concerned, she's a good friend to But I mean, she's a good friend too. Even her coworker, the white girl, what's her name? Frida?
Yeah, Frida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she though?
I believe
I think Issa's not a good friend
Thank you.
at all, to be honest.
Thank you.
So you wouldn't want Issa as a friend?
No.
Issa's the moocher friend.
She's pretty
She ain't
selfish.
never have no money.
Yeah.
Never.
I wouldn't want Issa to. She's like one of those friends that's kind of like an anchor because she's got so much effed up things going on in her life. She can't even focus on anything else besides what's going on with her. And that is such a hard person to be a friend with because it's like you're constantly giving them advice and telling them what they should do and what they shouldn't do. They don't listen anyway. They'll come back 2 days later with the same problems or something else. So, no. I wouldn't know.
Wasn't she being a good? Okay, you know what? I'm thinking about season 1, season 2. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, she's the one that told. No, sorry, Tony, because you just talked. That's why I said Tony. I meant Molly. She's the one that told Molly to go ahead and get some therapy and everything, which is helping Molly right now, isn't it?
She did one thing.
I'm just saying. Okay, you know what? Let me take it back. Whatever. Issa's not that good of a friend. All right, cool.
Okay, so one, she forever, every episode, Molly, you got me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop doing things that you can't afford.
Yeah. Stay home.
Molly, you know what? That's Molly's problem. Because Molly needs friends with money. That's Molly's fault.
All right. Okay, so Molly's a good friend.
Yeah. Molly's a great friend.
That's true. She did drive her from Malibu back to...
No, Molly's a great friend.
Molly's a great friend. She's
a great friend.
I feel like we're sliding into Molly. Back to Issa. Okay, Arnold.
Yeah,
Molly,
so
go.
I think the Issa thing was... Yeah, I think the Issa thing was interesting because, Insecure came from... awkward black girl, right? This is where it started. And the transformation of, Molly to settling down, quote unquote, and focusing on her career, and Issa then kind of going into her rotation, you could see where she wasn't comfortable with it, right? So that was her awkward black girl moment. But, it was interesting with Issa because in her career, in terms of the job piece, and you saw what happened in terms of the promotion, right? Where she didn't get the promotion and she felt she didn't deserve the promotion. I thought it was a little strange how she got reprimanded by her boss, but she didn't get reprimanded. Like, do you guys remember that scene?
Yeah. But what do you mean she didn't? She said she would talk to her later. They just didn't show that part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, on the Issa part, I thought she was there in terms of the episode. I felt sorry for her in terms of her breakdown. And what I thought was funny, I'm not going to take credit for this, but Bomani Jones, I don't know if you guys listened to his podcast, but, he said, when she came back to her house and she destroyed the whole house because of the Lawrence thing and she had the breakdown, he's like, well, she has to buy all that stuff again. Obviously, we didn't know she was going to sell the stuff. But he's like, she had to buy all that stuff again. She could have gotten a gym membership, and that could have been cheaper than her breaking her stuff, right?
Wow.
But yeah, it was interesting in terms of the whole Issa thing and the whole breakdown. But I think it's her also that sabotages relationships to a certain extent.
I get I have this group that we talk about the show right after the show ends. And we were talking about Issa and her rotation and how that was an excuse and her not dealing with the problem and her breaking her up her apartment and fighting and doing that represents me myself. I just went through a breakup and going through the breakup, if you walked in my house, it was a disaster. It was a disaster, and I didn't physically pick up stuff and throw it around, but I went through this series of just like not caring that everything was like in disorder, right? And I think that's, to me, when I saw that, that's what that represented for me, right? It's that like you just don't care anymore. Like nothing else matters right now, but then how you feel right at that moment.
Yeah, and so one final piece on the Issa thing, and I'll pose this to the floor. Do you think her moving was because she needed to do something different than everybody else was doing? Or was it the gentrification piece? Like, okay.
No, it was because she's broke and she can't afford to live there anymore.
But it was low. And she said
I don't
that.
think it was like a big like moment of like clarity.
Right.
Like, this is what I need to like, you know, refresh my life. No, I think she need, like Kelly kept saying, like, girl, where you going? You ain't got no money. Like, you know,
You gotta live with somebody else. Yeah. True.
Just that she doesn't have any money. But I
But
think
she said that.
it's good that she left, though. I think this is going to give her an opportunity to have the fresh start and maybe take a step back and actually deal with all of her emotions and really figure out what it is that she wants. Everyone's problem in this damn show is that nobody knows what the hell they want.
Hold on, sleeping on Daniel's couch is a fresh start?
No,
You'll be sleeping on his
that couch will last.
She's always sleeping on his couch with a dick in her mouth.
So it's going to be a retake of Love Jones?
Pretty much.
Yes,
She's like, again, same thing that she did before. She's playing herself. Like she's saying one thing, but when she knows she's about to do another thing.
Yeah. Do you guys watch Black and Sexy TV?
I
asked Arnold this. Yeah.
I've dabbled.
Yeah, because it reminds me of Sexless with Nolita, but yeah, that's just for another podcast. Nolita looking for a place to stay.
Nolita's a hot mess. I don't put Nolita anywhere near this. Nolita's a hot mess. Okay, sorry. Let's not go into that. Okay, so can I talk about Issa and Daniel now that we're talking about Issa again?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so the
so
end
it's really
scene,
like the last part, right?
The end scene, because like there's been a lot of conversation about it, and people are like, "How'd she end up at Daniel's again? Does it mean she's coming full circle and all this and all that, right?" And I think that her ending up at Daniel's is step one for her, because that's where everything started for her, right? She has been obsessed with Daniel forever. And until she deals with that, none of this Lawrence stuff matters, because it's actually way more important for her to deal with that Daniel relationship than it is for her to be able, to be able to embrace the Lawrence relationship. In my
head. 100% agree. No, because I agree with you on that, because if it's Lawrence, it's going to be yells, because the reason why the whole Daniel thing was enticing after so long is because she always had something for Daniel. So it was almost like she was waiting for Lawrence to start messing up to justify, wanting to go after Daniel and making that a whole thing. So if it's not Lawrence, it's going to be the next guy that she dates, where if he's messing up or whatever the case is, and then she's going to fall back to Daniel. And so I completely agree with Devin, where she has to deal with what are her feelings for Daniel and what that is before, not even Lawrence, anybody else that she actually wants to take seriously.
Yep. Because, and as much as everybody thinks it's about Issa and Lawrence, it's about Issa and Daniel. Because Daniel was there way before Lawrence. Daniel is that guy that she could never get. And now she realizes she can get it. Because now she's finding her confidence.
You sure you're not projecting with the Daniel piece? The team Daniel? Just a little.
I've been there.
Talk the things.
I've been in that situation where the guy that I thought was out of my league all of a sudden is like, no, you're in my league. And you're like, oh. So you got to pursue that. Maybe at the end of the day, you're like, I'm out of your league. But until you pursue that, until you see where that it is, you don't know.
So you got to shoot your shot. Robert, you saw the tie-in just now with Daniel. Shoot your shot.
Here's what I believe when it comes to crushes that are unattainable. Sometimes, you know what? A crush is meant to remain a crush. And, you know, you got to avoid all kinds of, you got to avoid trying to get into that nonsense or whatever, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
With her and Issa and Daniel, I mean, as far, there's nothing that's conducive between the two of them. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's friendship or relationship, it's not, nothing works between the two of them.
What?
It's not working.
Sexual chemistry, but other than that, what else is there?
That's it.
There's a connection between them. Come on. When they looked at each other,
they clearly
when Kelly was getting fingered under the table, come on.
But that was some friendly kind of reminiscent back in the day.
Friendly. You said a key word. Friendly. They get each other. They can connect.
Oh, they have a connection. 100%.
Issa needs to move to another state, find someone else, and just move on. God. That's what she needs to do.
It's never going to happen. And exactly what Tony said, though. It's not going to happen. Like, we're both saying the same thing. Until she resolves what the hell it is with her and Daniel, like, no relationship is going to work for her.
Right now, she's going to Daniel's. What's going to happen is, I'm going to sleep on the couch, but she's going to find her way to the bedroom like Arnold was saying, like on some Love Jones type of tip. And yeah, they're going to be messing around, fucking, until everything goes haywire, like when she was giving him head.
Okay, everybody's saying this like his couch and his bedroom are not in the same room.
That's fine, but if she wears those shorts that she did that time when Lawrence came over, Daniel's in trouble. I'm just saying.
Those were shorts. Right. That was her panties.
Okay.
Hey, well,
she's in her home.
No, she's in Daniel's home at this point. Now she
was in her home when Lawrence came up. He said.
And now she's in Daniel's territory.
Your ex is coming over and you wearing panties?
No, he showed up unannounced. He said he wasn't coming.
She couldn't make herself decent?
He said he wasn't coming. She's in her house.
Thank you.
So all I'm saying is this. If I pop up like that, be free. Be free.
No,
be free.
Lawrence is lucky that Issa even answered the door. No, well, I've been calling you all this time, and you want to answer. You act like you're all busy. Now you want to pop up. I'd be like, no, try again tomorrow. No.
Tony, we're friends now.
Oh my gosh, the alliance that has been created. Look at this alliance. Oh my goodness. I'm sweating already. Anyways, no. All I'm saying is, I'm not for this whole Issa and Daniel living together. I think it's just a recipe for disaster.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be messy. Can't wait. Like, it's going to be messy. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. Daniel and Issa. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, when it comes to, I mean, you guys are, okay. Are we going on Molly now?
Oh, Molly.
Are we going on Molly now?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to go to the beginning of the season when Molly was presented a guy that was exactly like her.
Yeah. What's his name?
The guy from This Is Us.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Right?
His name doesn't matter. His name doesn't matter.
Right. So she is presented a dude that basically works for her, but she doesn't want him because there's like I don't know what was the reason that she used?
She was saying that he was almost like too calculated, like she is. Like he was pretty much a reflection of her. Because I remember when she went on the date with him, she called Issa and was like, "Am I like this?" And he's like, "Yeah, bitch, you are." And he was like,
that was awesome.
Yeah,
Can you say Malibu, please? Please say Malibu. As a matter of fact, I think this podcast episode should be called Malibu.
Hey, you know what? That's a good name. Malibu.
We're stealing that. Thanks. Stolen.
All right. But yeah, so going back to what I was saying. So basically, she had an issue with this dude. Then she's presented. I mean, hold on. The issue that she has at work. This guy that's getting paid more money than her. She's presented with a job in Chicago. I'm saying, Molly, go do your thing. I'm actually very happy for her at this point when it comes to that. But then she finds out her parents are like her dad cheated on her mom. Hey, what does that mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. She's actually.
But even before that, she was already not about that dude. Like.
Oh yeah, Dro, that dude.
Yeah. So okay, we have to talk about Dro because that was like what, kiss and grind.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We talk about
kiss and grind.
Are we talking about I'll Be Sure with the jacked up grill? That
No,
guy?
thank you. No. Really trying to make it seem like this man is fine and stuff. No, you're tall. You're not fine.
No, he honestly. No, wait. There, I saw a picture of him with his mouth closed, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I was like, "That's that guy."
Don't be fooled.
I know his mouth is. He looks like his mouth stinks. That's what he looks like.
Who thought in the final season, in the final episode, that this was going to come to a head with Dro's wife in the open?
I was waiting.
Really?
I was hoping something would be. They set that up so nicely because I was there like, oh, it's about to go down. I thought, and nothing. She didn't say nothing, so it's like she doesn't know.
Clearly,
yeah.
I don't know. She doesn't know. Like that. I think that's the ongoing thing that people don't. That we're like,
does she know
she's cheating, or is it really an open relationship?
Yeah.
You know what? One thing that I like about the Dro character is that it introduced this one thing where people didn't believe that black folks could be in open relationships. They thought it was just a white thing.
Yeah. I don't believe that. I know black people in open relationships.
Yeah, no, but it's not that popular in the black community.
It's still very taboo. It's still very like, so this is a white thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that they introduced that, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not even sure that Dro is actually in a real open relationship. I like, as far as I'm concerned, he's finessing Molly at this point. He's trying to get.
At the party, he would have told his wife, "Oh, I'm gonna follow Issa into the bathroom. You cool with that, right?"
Molly.
Clearly, that didn't happen. Yeah, Molly into the bathroom. Like, are you cool with that? So clearly, that didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the wife is in there. I don't know. It's just like, where's her side thing?
Okay, but even if you are in an open relationship, that bathroom stuff is not happening when I'm upstairs.
That's
like,
no matter.
Okay, we're in an open relationship. That's fine, but not when I'm right here. No. That's just freaking disrespect.
Unless part of the role play was she comes in and catches, and then there's 2-on-1
and
part
she
2.
joins in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that would have been down for it.
But that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Why I don't think it's real.
Okay.
And the thing is, if you're in an open relationship and you know the rules, you would respect that.
Well, the principles of an open relationship should be trust. So it starts and ends with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, was disrespectful even within an open relationship.
Should be communication as well.
Yeah. Because unless he told her, I'm going to go downstairs and
break her back out
the sink and break her back. Like, no.
That was so wrong. So wrong.
No. And see, okay, that was a good Issa friend moment when Molly came out the bathroom and she didn't say nothing. That was a good friend.
That is true.
That was being a good friend.
I'll give her that.
Yeah.
After she got eviscerated by her ex on the street, calling her a hoe. Yeah, that was a good friend. Anyways, going back to Dro.
Yeah.
Going back to Dro. So basically, what went down? Like, I mean, not Dro. Are we still talking about Dro?
We're talking about Molly.
Molly,
Molly
yeah.
and Joe.
So
Joe
you know,
comes with
Joe
Molly. He
Joe
doesn't get his own. He doesn't get his own.
Okay. So Joe tells Molly, hey, you know what? Me and my wife, we're in an open relationship. She's like, nah, I don't deal with that type of thing. Then she comes to find out my daddy cheated on my mom's. So F off daddy is what she's saying. And then she calls Joe. And she gets into the whole, you know what? Yes, I'm a side piece too.
Well, to me, that's the whole Molly and Joe relationship, right? Molly and Joe's relationship is based on the fact that she found out that her parents aren't as perfect as she thought they were, right? And she's spiraling, right? She had two really good dudes. She had dark and sexy, exactly like her dude. And then she had dark and sexy. A lot of people talking about that he's chubby, but that's not even a thing. It's not even the reason why she didn't like him.
Did you say he's cute?
He's cute.
Oh, he's cute.
He's so cute.
All right, cool. So
did I not say dark and sexy?
Okay, all right.
Dark and sexy and a lawyer and knows like helping her through her life.
Anyways,
you marry that dude.
Anyways,
yeah. Who did she end up with?
Yeah,
because she's messed up in her head right now.
No. Denisa said
it's really about where she is now in her life. She's a hot mess right now.
Did Issa say that the sex was trash? Didn't she mention that?
Sure did.
Okay. That's what she said. That was her problem.
No, I'm just saying, dude can perform properly for her.
But
I mean, she was not okay with that.
The thing is, I don't think it's anything really about his performance. It's really about where she is right now. Right? So she's going to use that excuse. She's going to be like, honestly, as a grown-ass woman in my late 30s, let's call it late 30s. The latest of 30s.
You look like you're in your late 20s.
All right. I'm 39. I'm good with that. So, as a 39-year-old woman, if you are not feeling that dude because you're in your head and you're going through what you're going through, then of course the sex is not going to be good. But if you like that dude, it doesn't matter size, it doesn't matter their motion, you're going to love it. You're going to love it as long as he puts in that effort.
I see a dissension in the ranks, Ro.
Sorry. It's the realness because as a 39-year-old woman, you know how to get yours from anybody.
Toni, can you dive in?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. No, I don't know about all that. I get what you're saying. I agree in the sense that no matter how it was, she would probably feel that same exact way towards Lil Rel guy, like no matter what, because she just
what did you call him?
Lil Rel. That's his old comedian name. I don't know what his name is on. I thought
you were making a comment.
No,
I thought she was saying Lil Rel. Lil Rel.
I didn't make that up.
Little Rel.
That is not what I meant. That's really his comedian name. But no,
okay.
On that sense, I don't necessarily agree with the point of if you really like somebody, then I think
can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say that if you are really into someone, that makes the sex better?
Yes, that's what
I mean.
Okay,
that's what I mean.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, if you're really into someone, the sex will be enhanced. It will be like this magical spiritual experience, you know. And if you don't like them as much, I mean, the sex can still be good, like backbreaking or whatever, but it is still not going to be what it could be if you're completely feeling that person. So I totally agree with that. Molly, when it comes to the Dro situation, again, I think it's going back to not being honest with what she wants. Like, she is somehow trying to convince herself that this thing with Joe is okay for her. And every single time he says, okay, well, my wife's calling, gotta go, her whole mood change, her face changes, and that's when she gets back into reality. Because when this situation with Joe, this is a fantasy for her. She's with this man that she knows is capable of being married. Why? Because he is married. So it's like this fantasy thing with her, and seeing, I think she's turned on by the fact of Dro and his wife's relationship. When she saw them all like being cute together when she first met, she made that comment like, oh my God, they're so great together, they're so cute. I think she gets turned on by the fact that he's married, because all she's been looking for is like a great marriage or whatever. So I think that she thinks that they have this great marriage, and I think she's like kind of weirdly turned on by that, even though it's not what she wants, because she's been talking about the fact that she wants to be married and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know where she expects to get that from Joe, because man's already married. So come on, Molly.
Yeah, that seating arrangement at the party was quite the wake-up call for her, eh?
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
was. It
No,
definitely
girl.
was.
Go over there. Way at the table trying to get in the conversation. They're like, we don't see you over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the single section.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
No, there is. I've been to brunches and I'm in the single section.
Yeah.
Or the childless section.
Yeah.
wow.
No, there's something to it. They do that on purpose. Like if somebody has a seating arrangement, it's on purpose.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right? And Tiffany, here's my question. Does Tiffany know about Joe?
No.
No.
Exactly. So
No.
there was no like Tiffany hating about it.
But
She was
imagine
just
if she
like-
did, though.
No, but she was just being about, I want to sit across from the other married couple so we can talk because we're couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was. Yeah. 100%.
Right? Like there was no shade in it. Right? And Molly was just kind of like it was just her reality check. And then she was a hoe in the bathroom.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Can we talk about why is everybody call Molly a hoe?
What?
What?
They call
Why does
Molly a
everybody
hoe?
call Molly a hoe? Yeah.
Really?
I would say that was more
hi.
season 1 piece.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa, hey Molly, can you teach me how to be a hoe?
That's from season 1, though.
Yeah, I think that was back from season 1.
That's back in
Even
season
still,
1.
But even still in season 1.
Look, I
Was
think
she
didn't-
really hoeing?
Oh.
This is a
Well-
real question, by the way. Everybody got
That's a
tired.
loaded question.
I don't even remember, but I do know that is kind of the label. And I don't even remember why, because I don't have great memory.
Well, she was with Jadena. She was with that other dude that had that gay experience.
Okay, but was she not in a relationship with them?
No.
No.
Remember, that was her whole thing. She wasn't in a relationship with any of these people.
But she was dating them. She was dating one at a time.
She was floating.
She was floating, yeah.
She was not dating. Okay, when she was dating straight gay, she was dating
floating.
him. When she was dating Jadena, she was dating Jadena.
No.
She was dating other dude. She was dating other dude. She's a serial monogamist. She's not a hoe. But
Nobody
it's
calling
funny
her
how
a hoe.
people label her a hoe for being a serial monogamist.
That's true.
Okay, I can
That's
see where
true.
you're going.
I see.
Because, I mean, I'm going to make a slight deviation here. Tasha had more extramarital partners than Ghost. I'm just saying. I'll go. Okay, I'll park that. Okay, go.
We're not talking about
I'm just saying.
We're not even talking about power.
I know. Sorry. I just couldn't resist it.
That's
Devin, you should not-
that wasn't even a slight deviation. That was
Well, you said Tasha. I know.
You should have not given me this medium.
Yo!
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Do not apologize. Do
Yes,
not apologize for stating your opinion. Do not apologize.
Where Toni? Where is Toni? She died. She laughed so hard.
I'm here.
She laughed so hard she died.
Okay.
I was like, what are we talking about?
I apologize.
When he said Tasha, I'm like,
We're talking. I thought we like killed Tasha already. Why are we talking about her?
We were talking about the hoes and perception of hoe and who is really a hoe and who is not. I was just putting it out there. Anyway, I digress. I apologize. But
We gotta have a power episode.
Okay.
We gotta have a power episode. That's it.
Can I talk about the Molly and the work perspective?
okay.
Yes.
Because I think that was interesting and that hit home and resonated for me so much. Because the conversation that they had of, working with, do you rather work with black people or do you rather work with white people? Is one of those conversations that we have but we don't have, but we think in our head and we talk around. And I found it so interesting how when Molly was thinking she wanted to stay with the firm, her original firm, and she wanted to be loyal because she was moving up and she had influence, the best they can do is give her a Rising Star Award. It's like
So insulting.
you still don't value what she is bringing to the firm. But then on the same token, though, when she was interviewing with the black firm, and he's like, oh yeah, Crenshaw, is that McDonald's still on the corner? And then you just cringe, right? So it's like she's caught between these two worlds from a career standpoint. And I mean, that spoke to me so much from a resonating standpoint, just being in corporate America.
And it's funny because, of course, Kelly is the one to break it down. And she's like, if you work with black people, then they get too familiar. And if you work with white people, then you got to explain everything or you got to be apologetic for everything.
It's true.
And I get that.
Yeah, but that Rising Star Award, it was like, I
Got up and walked out and not
exactly. And I've heard that so many times from people in terms of who I've spoken to, where they just don't value it. They're like, you can just leave if you want to. And everything is just a token in terms of the token of appreciation.
When I saw that Rising Star Award, I thought of that meme of Viola Davis when she picks up her stuff and walks away.
She like rolled her eyes. She's like, oh hell no.
To talk
what are you saying, Toni?
No, I was going to say to talk about this scene. It like brings it back to like the characters and what the heck is wrong with them. In this whole scene with her and talking with the bosses about, wanting a raise, and she's kind of like skirting around the issues, or she's talking about like all the things I bring to the company and I'm taking interviews, and they give her this award, and she kind of just looks at it and was like, are you guys kidding me? Like, Molly, where is your voice? You need to learn to walk into these rooms and be like, look, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I want from this company. You either take it or leave it. And this is what they do in their relationships. This is what they do in their friendships, and this is what they do in their work life. They're incapable of like going into these rooms, being confident and saying, look, this is what I want. Is either you're going to give it to me or I'm going to find it somewhere else. And they're just not doing that. She's had 2 meetings with these guys, and they're kind of just like treating her like, a floor mat or whatever. And she's taking it when they're talking about, oh, well, we'll talk about this in your review next year or whatever. Okay, thanks, bye. And she's just like, oh, okay. No, like, why are you taking interviews and doing all of this extra shit? Just walk in there and be like, look, you guys are either going to give this to me or I'm going to walk away. Like, choose one. And none of the characters do that. They never have this confident moment where they're just letting people know, like, this is what I want and you need to give it to me.
That's where the show develops, right? It's coming. This is where they're at. Like, I feel like season 2 was them kind of finding themselves a little bit, and by the end, they're a little bit starting to find their voice. Like Issa, even with her job, right? Her not standing up to the principal and being like, "Yo, we having just the black kids in this program. What happened to the Latina kids?" And then even just having like the Latina kids. having them in the office instead of like incorporating them into the program?
Yeah,
and what is that?
And just quickly back to the Rising Star. Just quickly back to the Rising Star Award. You can see this is really resonating with me for a number of reasons. But what I found was the most insulting part about that is when they said to her, and where their transparency came through, is when they say, you would be featured in the magazine as a rising star. It's like, oh, so then you're going to use me as a token now to show your diversity and your diversity numbers, that you did something in terms of hiring Black people or letting me get a job and allowing me to be here. You know, so it was there that I was like, oh, I see what they're doing now, right? It's not even about her at that point. It was about them and their diversity numbers, which definitely resonates in this city.
Yep.
Definitely.
But I always wonder about that because for me, I work for a technology company, and when they were updating the website, and you know how the one thing I noticed on Facebook is like when you have like a friendiversary and they have that hand that comes in and flips the picture, that now it's a Black hand. And I actually did appreciate it a little bit. But it was funny, when my company was updating their website, they asked me to be the hand. And I was like, yeah, I will do that. You know why? Because I want another Black person to feel the way that I did when I had my Facebook hand come out. And I was like, oh, it's a Black hand.
And my girlfriend messaged me the other day for our friend anniversary, and she's like,
is there a Black hand because we're Black?
More than likely.
But I feel like it's important. It's important. As much as you know that you're kind of being a token and you're being, it's going to have an impact later on.
Well, that's for another podcast.
No, but yeah, no, it's insecure. You know what? I just want to mention this one thing. The beginning of that last episode, when Issa is walking into that gentrified neighborhood, and she's wearing that shirt, red shirt with the letters "niggas" on her left. You guys didn't see that?
Yeah, I noticed it. I was like, does her shirt say?
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, okay, Issa. Talk about like, you know, putting it out there.
But the show in general has a lot of just dropping stuff in there. Like Lauren's getting pulled over by the police. Like the principal at the school. The gentrification in our neighborhood. Like even when Lawrence walks into the apartment building and the two white guys walking by.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
all that stuff you notice in it.
The sexual orientation part. Also in not orientation. How would you call it?
What are you talking about?
When the guy was basically like when he got hit from the next dude, and Molly was not feeling him.
Oh, in season one.
Yeah. That was season one.
The big double standard.
The double standard. Yeah.
Huge double standard.
And then her brother's gay.
Yeah.
Because she made. And the thing is, I didn't notice this the first time I watched that episode. The last episode, but the second time I watched the last episode, she said.
Well, he said
when he was laying out the rules.
Yeah.
He was like, no dude sleeping over unless I'm sleeping with him too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Like, okay.
Until that moment, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But even in terms of the taboo topics, you know, we were talking about open relationships and not being, you know, too, Black people in terms of open relationships or couples. The whole thing about the head game, right?
Yeah.
That was a whole thing to where it was that thing where there's that stereotype out there in terms of Black women, et cetera, right? So that fourth wall was punched through also in terms of this season.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think that people still thought that.
You would be surprised.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just saying that show, hey, way to go, Issa.
Yeah, for real. Right.
Although I will say her writing, like when Lawrence was at that barbecue. Before that, I mean, Lawrence could do no wrong. It seemed like he could do no wrong, and then at the barbecue, he's not having fun. He decides he's going to go to the work thing, and then Tasha calls him out to be a fuckboy type of thing or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I just felt it was like very. I have this conspiracy theory that Issa Rae did that on purpose.
Well, yeah. Well, because the show is not only showing her Issa's insecurities, it's showing Molly's, it's showing Lawrence's, and Daniel's, who are the four main characters.
All right.
Well, one thing I did want to talk about is, and I've had this conversation, is Issa Rae as outside of Insecure. It seems that a lot of conversations are being, now that the show is getting more popular, I find with bloggers, they need to find some content and something to talk about because their bosses are saying, you have to write about something. So this whole topic about not using proper protection or protection not being in the episodes and them being criticized because you see no condoms in the show. And I hear you. Because on this with the scene with the 2-on-1, it was like, well, no condoms were used, and it's like I'm thinking in my head, well, grown-ups are watching this show and they're assuming that that's happening. Do we really need to show that? And it just seems that now people, because they need to have something to write about, they're kind of taking strips off and picking at it. And I think that has caused a visceral reaction with Issa Rae, because the other day she came out and said, well, actually the show is just for black women. It's not for anybody else, right? To where people were like, like, are you going to actually say that because you're trying to get universal appeal? But I think it was just one of those things to where her back got up, because now they're like looking at little silly things like this in terms of over-analyzing the show in terms of taking it for what it is, right? I don't know if you guys saw anything on that.
Yeah, I did see stuff like that.
I did see that too.
I'm just like, I'm hoping that she just like stays focused to what she set out to do from the very beginning, because you're not going to please everybody. And then when you start listening to people and trying to please them, you're going to realize that, again, those same people, you're never going to please them. It's going to be one thing. Okay, now you fix the condom issue. Okay, well, now, Issa, you need to do this. Because for whatever reason, when black women begin to create work, everyone wants to pile down on them and nitpick at all, or black people in general, when they start creating things, everyone wants to nitpick and say, oh, well, you got to do this, and and it's coming from all sides, coming from within our community, it's coming from outside, because we, for some reason, expect it to be perfect and all put together. And the white counterparts, they're just able to create. And I think that we need to allow our creative people to just create and figure things out and use your damn common sense. And it's a TV show, everybody. Like, it's fiction, right? It's not a documentary. Like, it's not with the everything has to be perfect. It drives me nuts. You know what I mean? It's just so annoying, because like people don't know the work and the sacrifices and everything that she has had to do to get to this point. And you guys are trying to sabotage that by some, like, whatever. Let me not continue. Go, somebody else talk.
Even the fact that like the character who plays Yvonne, Molly, she's a virgin in real life.
Yeah. And
like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
It's a TV show.
Well, I mean, but couldn't we tell that Molly's a virgin in real life? Because, I mean, that O face was looked kind of weird. That was putting on.
What does an O face look like? Show us.
No, she looked like,
No, show us. No.
You You know when remember back in the day when you had the doll babies with the eyes go up and down, and then there'd be that one eye that was stuck open and one eye closed? Like if you did a freeze frame right there, I cannot unsee that part right there where she had one eye open and one eye closed. Looked like a doll baby.
It happens sometimes.
But like everybody's own face is different. It's like normally old faces are not very attractive.
Hey,
Okay, well,
the uglier it is,
The better
it was. Okay.
noted.
Yeah, because you're not
Cameras all around.
Yeah, because you're not trying to control it, so that's what makes it so ugly, right? Because it's just like you just let go.
Maybe that's why Mary Jane can't get eye contact. Okay.
Stop show crossing.
Yeah, like you like show.
Yo, Arnold, we are friends now. We are friends. Shoot.
Arnold's my friend. Don't take my friend. We just became friends.
You took Toni. I'm taking Arnold and I.
How about we all be friends?
Yes. How about that?
How about you bring your friends and get with my friends,
And we'll be friends.
I'll be friends. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Who's
Okay,
that?
Puffy. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Yeah.
Oh, that's Papa.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, you get one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right. So
Final thoughts. Everybody's gonna get a final thought. We're gonna go from where the way I see it, Roberto, clockwise. Final thought.
what? From what I'm seeing, you going counterclockwise, but it's all good. Anyways, with regards to the show Insecure, I believe that like Awkward Black Girl, Issa Rae just, she got herself a gold mine. She created also one of my favorite web series, which was Romy Lover Friends. And I believe that, I forget what I believe. I'm just excited for next season and seeing what the way that the characters develop some more. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm trying to see if they are going to grow out of their insecurities, or if you're going to see a growth out of their insecurities.
Is it me? Am I next?
That's me.
Toni, you're next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for next season. I felt like this finale left me, like I felt a little stagnant a little bit, unless there's the reason why they kind of, because I feel like each character kind of went back to square one in my opinion, but I'm sure there's a reason for that. So yeah, I'm excited to see like their growth and to hopefully, even though I know the show is called Insecure, but I hope that there is some confidence in at least one area of their lives. Not saying they have to all have it all together, but I think it's important that these characters do find some type of growth in at least one area, because then they're going to fall into this thing where it gets a little predictable, and like, of course, we're all flawed and we're all things, but as human beings, we also are learners. And if these characters are not learning from their past mistakes and the things that they've done, then we as an audience, there's nowhere to go, right? It's going to be these like repetitive kind of seasons and interactions and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping in at least one part of their lives that they're able to figure it out.
Awesome. Arnold?
Yeah, so I'm going to go on a different tangent here in terms of an aesthetic, and I would say the music in this show. Raphael Sadiq does an amazing job as a producer for this show. I think that, shout out to Tyler, the creator. I freaked out when his song was the first song to come on the last episode, because that new album is amazing. As you can see, I'm a big Tyler, creator fan. But I think more than anything, the last episode, the songs were dope from start to finish. And it is giving an avenue for our Black talent, from an R&B, from a neo-soul perspective, a new avenue. And I think, if you look on the Spotify playlist, they have a playlist for her. It's there. I know people who sit there. I sit there with my songs, with my Shazam app open. As soon as the song hits, it's on my playlist for like Monday when I'm going in on the train. So I think what they're doing in terms of, and it's the vibe fits with the music, which Rafael Sadiq is obviously talented. But I think that's actually providing a service in terms of a new avenue for our talent.
Awesome. They have it on Tidal too. Tidal, they have the playlist for all the music from Insecure, which is cool. My pros and cons. Oh, I love this show so much. Actually, even though I'm actually too old for this show because it's not actually aimed towards women of my age, but I identify it with so much because I'm single. So I think that's part of what makes it a little bit different. I think if I was married and had kids and all that stuff, I'm not sure I would identify with it as much. But because I'm single with no kids, I feel like I see myself in Molly. I see myself in Issa. I see myself in Kelly. Like, I see myself in all these characters. And it's so great to see, like, Black women being represented so multifaceted, coming from different walks of life, having different experiences, having different backgrounds and, like, choices. And, like, just all of it is just so good to see. Like, we haven't seen anything like this since Living Single? Like, which was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Like, that it's been so long that we've seen such like a diverse representation of Black women in a positive light. Right. So it's exciting to see it every week. And it's like, I felt like sometimes, like, I always say that being Mary Jane, we talked about that a little bit. Being Mary Jane is like, every week, it's like her life is kind of like following along with my life. A lot of the things that she's going through is what I'm going through, which is right for my age group. But like Insecure, it reminds me of a lot of things that I went through that have made me the person that I am now. So it's so big. And I have white girlfriends that watch it and identify with it. So I feel like it's also ready to cross that barrier, especially because now that it's in season 2, that people are starting to watch it and it's crossing that barrier now. And I'm super excited, like Robert said, I'm super excited for season 3 to see what they do, see everybody kind of come of age and kind of start to figure things out and kind of pull it all together. Like, that is super exciting for me. You muted yourself, Robert, by the way. So nobody can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm a little more excited for season 5 of Power, but yeah, I'm going.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I know we brought every other show into this.
Sorry.
We talk about Power and Mary Jane.
I know. Look at Toni's face. She's not impressed with my crossover skills at all.
Oh, man. So yeah, I think we did it.
Guys,
yeah. High five.
We did it.
Yeah.
Everybody, high five. We did it. We talked about the whole season. I know there's stuff that you're gonna be like, damn, we didn't talk about this, but when we post it, you can add stuff on it, right? So
let's invite people to share their opinion on on the website. Not website. I say website.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, we have an email, which is talkback@gr8blknorth.com. Again, it is talkback@gr8blknorth.com.
Just get rid of the vowels and put it, and instead of the eats, put an 8. Y'all know.
BLK.
We'll put it when we post it. Jeez. can also Facebook us. You can rate up north. We're on
Subscribe.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on SoundCloud,
Subscribe.
YouTube. Come on, subscribe.
Cool. Subscribe to YouTube.
All right. So, Toni, do you want people to follow you on social media? What's your social media?
Okay. Sure. You can follow me at the. Sorry, I'm so awkward. You can follow me at the Toni Francis.
The Toni, like V or the Toni?
Oh, the THE Toni TONI Francis FRANCIS.
Yeah, the Toni Francis. Remember that.
Okay, cool. And Arnold, you have yours on your name there. So
yes, you can follow me on the Twitter. And sorry, I'm going to out myself, Toronto people, but at redsoxnation.com. REDSAWXNATION. Go Sox. Uh-oh, look at Rose's face. I think the alliance has been broken.
Nah. Don't watch baseball like that. I'm good. I don't watch baseball like that. Now, if you had said something about Raptors and anything, I mean.
What is this Raptors you speak of?
Okay, let's not end this friendship that started so well. Let's not end this friendship. Yeah. Let's not end this friendship.
All right.
So we would like to thank our guests, Arnold and Toni. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Hopefully we'll see them on other shows.
For sure. More crazier topics. All right, so for this special episode entitled Malibu.
What? Or woo-woo?
Malibu.
What did I call it originally? I said Insecurities.
Oh. Not like Malibu.
So, can I call it Insecurities #Malibu?
Yeah, we could do that.
I'm like, huh? Oh.
All right.
Too
Okay, folks. Well, for this episode, I am your favorite author, Robert Mulolo, and I'm signing off.
I am Devin M.D. Jones, and I'm signing off. Toni?
Oh, sorry. I'm Toni, and I'm signing off.
I'm Arnold, and it's been a slice.
I know.
Hi, guys.
Awkward, sorry.
She's the
Very
new
awkward.
background.
Oh, yes.
All right. See you on the next one, y'all.
Peace.
Bye.